Ziggity Zig back with some more Tales from the Ladder, and this is one sent to us by Bomdagor, where he's a Terran playing a 2v2 with his partner GhostKitten over here on Crystal Pools. Having to go check over there, and they're up against two Zerg by the names of Genetics, and who's this down here? This is seanPatrick. seanPatrick, what? Patrick O'Neill, what? Why would you name? Anyway, it doesn't even matter. A whole bunch of, your friends are back, Expo. No, there's going to be all sorts of text. That's just going to be crazy. But for the most part, we're just going to see what happens here. And I do feel kind of bad that it was a lot of that guy Griff versus UCMOP games last week and this week. Was a really good 5-game series, I thought, at least. Maybe not quite so high in the EPM. But what was pretty awesome and cool about that, well, not really awesome and cool, was that they were all kind of short games, and they were all involved just kind of the two players. So I thought we'd expand out, and this is a game that was sent to me by Bomdagor, and I think it was called Close One, or Close Call. I can't quite go back and have a look at it again, but it might be kind of a long game, but now Bomdagor's now just trying to say, he's giving him control of the wall, fair enough, so he's giving him control of the supply depot, because there's only one ramp here, and it's actually quite a small ramp. So just doing kind of your one base, or two bases, 2v2. GhostKitten's gonna go banelings. Fair enough. I mean, you can do a pretty good job of holding that one as well, and then in which case you have an additional 2 bases. So it's pretty easy to expand here on a Crystal Pool, but it's much easier to just stay in there. Yep, and okay, and they're pretty much saying exactly what I would expect them to say. But it looks like it's gonna be a macro, at least one single macro Zerg. Not really sure what Genetics is going to do, but there's a maneuver by Genetics, who's going to take out and bring out the minerals, and that's going to be a bit of a waste of minerals if he's going to pop one down. Yep. Got a macro up as well, so we're on 2 base right away, and I think, oh no, I thought that was a drone heading down for GhostKitten, but that is just an Overlord wandering over there. There's the second base. There we go. So it's going to be 2 base for both the opposing Zergs. I do call them the opposing. So if you send me the replay, you are the good guy. That's just how it's going to go. So I will defend your Cannon Rush. I will defend your Roach Warren. I will defend everything of yours. If you send me a replay, you're definitely in the good book. So there's another. Just keep it on track of supply. Going to be an engineering bay just to wall the remainder of this off. So there's no way the Zergs are going to get in here. Just the one supply depot. Worried about the banelings going out. Actually, there was GhostKitten going out there to take the far back. This is probably the best place to take an additional base, because that way, if anyone runs up, they might head straight up and come up this ramp and not wonder if there's anything going on in the back. Now, if we take a look at some of the tech that's going on right now. Alright, so that's, I'm expecting cheesy, yeah, he's expecting some cheese. But that's cool, because here comes seanPatrick. seanPatrick didn't know, loading into this game, GhostKitten was not he's okay, so Bomdagor's planning on Planet Fortressing that. GhostKitten was not random, so they do know that there is a Zerg up here, but what is happening here is, I'm wondering if that was going to come in here and try to take advantage of the enemy creep and try to plant down maybe a spine crawler is the word I'm trying to think of. But down here we have metabolic boost going on for seanPatrick. Yeah, he's the purple, and just some basic Zerglings and a little bit of macro going on there. So if you take a quick look as to what's going on, yeah, so it seems like GhostKitten is going to be handling most of the EPM on Team Good Guy, Team Green, and against the opposition, it seems to be the faster player in seanPatrick. Just having a quick peek at what kind of things are happening here, but it does look like the seanPatrick's speed is going to be done well before anyone else's, and in fact, and in that case, it looks like GhostKitten is just trying to decide what to do next, just sort of moving through there. But there is just this one. Oh no, now we're going to have a couple of roaches down here, and Bomdagor trying to work on a couple of units. I'm going to bring up units. What am I going to bring up? What's a good one to have up here? Is it income tab? Is it, I don't even know. But these roaches are going to wander their way up this big ramp. They're going to come across a couple of regular lings and a couple of speedlings. They're not roaches. The roaches stayed back at the base. But those pretty much got taken out very quickly. So now GhostKitten now knows what they are up against. And they are up against a, Zedlings. That's kind of funny. But what do we have over here? We've got, he's just taking out an Overlord. But now, in the meantime, it looks like Bomdagor is setting up just a little bit of some tank, just as a just as a defense, getting into a defensive position now. The defensive position up against this, I'm expecting good things, but these roaches will probably not be able to kill them before they run past. And with this many lings, they are going to get all the way past. They are going to get bombed. And oh no! See, they could have run all the way up the other way. Here comes the speedling for seanPatrick. Oh no, it was Genetics speedling. There, the spine crawler's not ready yet, but this definitely is a bonus to have just down there. And now, oh, the roaches are just barely moving out of position, and now here comes some banelings right now for seanPatrick, and to be doing the exact same thing that GhostKitten was talking about in so far as a strategy. But now, oh, GhostKitten does see these just in time, but now it's just trying to blow them up at the same time, and does manage to hold on to every single one of these roaches. Is now going to run right the way back up. Planetary Fortress is... No, I thought he was going to make a Planetary Fortress, but I suppose not. This GhostKitten's going to go and has moved up to 4 bases. Oh, we canceled that one. And now it doesn't seem to be... Oh, just a whole lot of Zerg coming in here. This siege tank is very well defended back here. So this ramp, nothing's going on up at this ramp, but this is definitely a complete destruction of this expanded base. Bomdagor might want to lift this off very soon as well. Just having a quick check and see what's going on back in the base. The tech that's coming down here does not seem to be all that high. It really is just speed. Burrows on the way for GhostKitten, but as far as the tech for the other 2 Zerg, there's not a whole lot going on. Now try to get a Reaper out and some Infernal Pre-Igniters, so there's... Oh, had to cancel that one out. A couple of roaches. Cancel the Planetary Fortress. Bringing a couple of roaches down. Good thing giving control over the supply depot so that GhostKitten could get the Zerg units out. There are 100% of the Zerg units right there. And these Zerglings are not quite going to be ready for the rest of it, but here come the remainder of seanPatrick's Zerglings, and still just the Zergling forces. There's a Spire going up, however, for Genetics, lair tech on the way. So, yeah, a bit of a late lair for seanPatrick, because it appears that Genetics is already on lair, and it's going to be moving out with a couple of Zerg. Double checking that, thinking twice about it, trying to work on maybe the macro, as it were. Can't really see what kind of units or income we've got. What is the actual currency? Was it C? No, it's not. It's not production. It's not any of these things. There's units, there's upgrades, there's buildings, things like that. Structures, meh. Let's just turn it right the hell off. Might need a tank on the other side. Good idea. But now, working on the 2 bases right now. The Planetary Fortress down there at the bottom is doing quite a good job. Here is a very interesting set of creep tumor. Oh, okay. Those are red. They're very difficult to see whether those are purple or not because they're sitting on the purple creep. So GhostKitten is actually slowly making his way down the hill here. This is a really cool little cliffside move. But for whatever reason, there's the more banelings coming in here for seanPatrick. If we look back here at what is going on with Genetics, Genetics is still not really... Genetics was continuing on with... There we go, 13 Muta on the way. Here comes some Hellions right now. I almost said Reapers for Bomdagor, going to make their way across. So they don't see all of these banelings, and now they're just sort of waiting for the banelings to be completely done. I don't think he's got baneling speed just yet. The baneling rolling, I'm going to call it. Bomdagor just waiting here in the middle of the map, looking at the Cell Naga Tower, trying to make sure that he's got everything that he needs there. There's still 1 Zergling over here, which apparently they didn't quite have enough gas to make. There we go. He's just waiting for that additional gas to come in. Maybe if you're going to do that, seanPatrick, you should have... Okay, there we go. He's actually... getting the additional gas just there. So waiting for the Speedlings and the Hellions to come in at the same time, taking a look at the purple guys up at the corner, and the Banelings are not moving in for seanPatrick just yet, but here come GhostKitten and Bomdagor, and they're going to slowly move their way up here and see what they're finding. They're finding a very, very unprotected base here, but at the same time, here comes some Speedlings down the corner, and the Banelings are going to move their way up the corner here, but these are some burrow roaches, which are going to take some fire from that siege tank, which was kind of unfortunate. It does die, but the Banelings are all done. They didn't make much of an attack, and these Hellions are not really ready for the Mutalisks to come in here. They do have blue flames, and they are going to take out a number of units. Just if they could get in here and do some damage towards these drones, but no, not quite ready to line them all right up there. And the Mutalisks, they were not quite prepared for the Mutalisks, and they did come in there and get quite a bit of damage. Oh, there's the resources that I was looking at. I tried to go Control R, and that's not going to give me what I want because I'm not going to see what's lost. But this will give me what's lost. Units lost is pretty high for the opposing Zerg pair here, but GhostKitten was absolutely, apparently totally ready for the Mutalisks, but the problem here is that they only know about 2 of the bases, where there's 3 or 4 on the way. Just sort of trickling in a couple of roaches here, not quite sure why, but they're not going to fare too well up against this one Mutalisk. The Mutalisks are going to hang out over here to the side corner, and so this is yet more kind of, you know if maybe they're not their first day. Oh, is that a hive that we had? No, it's still just a lair. Okay, fair enough. But the roaches are suffering kind of a bad time going up against these Mutalisks, with only one Mutalisk attacking at the one time, because meanwhile, Genetics is trying to figure out what to do with these Mutalisks, and this is when the attack's going to start to come in, because Bomdagor actually didn't have any. Oh dear, there are no missile turrets ready to go here. He's just starting to build one now. It's a bit late, especially when you saw all the Mutalisks coming. He thought it was going to come in from the north, because the second base is actually much more protected. Meantime, are you okay? He's asking. So, you know, concerned, rather concerned. But these guys are still. So the units of GhostKitten are still making their way in there. But now these Mutalisks are able to take out one missile turret. Do not worry about the second one. And that's when we get the, oh my goodness, just an amount of burrowed Widow Mines just there. Spore Crawlers. There was a couple of Spore Crawlers just there. Does not fully take this out, but that definitely was quite a lot of resources for Bomdagor to lose. Can't quite tell how many workers that we lost at the same time there. Let's have a look at the resources. So it is, the macro is pretty heavy right now for Genetics. There's another Spore Crawler, so just trying to protect his outside range there. Another Planetary Fortress just here, but that's not really going to do all that good up against these Mutalisks, and the Mutalisks do run away once again from the units there, but now, seanPatrick is just trying to get some roaches here ready on his on his front lines. GhostKitten is going to move in a number more, and it's just going to be Speedlings, but Speedlings up against roaches, I do not favor the Speedlings, despite the fact that he's running right past him, which is exactly what you're trying to do, but seanPatrick did leave a number of them there available, and it does still seem to be GhostKitten and seanPatrick with the higher EBM just there. GhostKitten is letting Bomdagor know that it's going to be pretty much full-on roaches, but for whatever reason, Genetics is now coming back with all of these Mutalisks and not continuing to make some stabs and some pokes. I mean, there are a couple Spore Crawlers right there. Bomdagor only managed to... He tried building one, but then gave up on it, so now he's got the... Oh, it's going to be a Raven game. How I love Raven games. Bomdagor trying to move out. Yes, I think he's going to try to grab a third base. Who's desperate? Someone's desperate. There's just some sort of desperation going on over here, and it's still full-on Mutalisks. The army supply is still not all that huge right now for seanPatrick. It does seem to be, there's a bit of an advantage right now for Genetics, but I don't know that he's going to capitalize on that, because he's not really expanding outside of any kind of tech. Bomdagor is just wandering around with these Hellions, just making sure that he can see things, but with Blue Flame Hellion, they're probably going to do all right up against seanPatrick's roaches. They may not win the game, but they certainly will allow for this Planetary Fortress to get quite a bit more damage in there. So here is, and GhostKitten has got a couple of Speedlings around, but now everyone just seems to be wandering around the map, trying to take care of a number of things. These Mutalisks are still just sitting there. Oh no, Mutalisks are trying to get their hands on this gold base for Genetics, but they now do still seem to be on just 2. Oh no, I had 3, 4, oh wow. So yeah, Genetics is now moving up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th base. Here is the second Planetary Fortress right there for Bomdagor, so they are continuing on it in that regard. GhostKitten does manage to get the Zerglings down here. He's probably not going to be able to get rid of this one hatchery. However, does know about it, and that is seanPatrick's hatchery. So if you look at how many bases they kind of see, it's some of them, but not all of them. Does manage to slide a couple more Speedlings out of there. He's going to go check up here on the hill to find out if there's any additional bases. He's now looking to see, and does see, seanPatrick has got all of these roaches here, and they're trying to get in through the back. Not entirely sure why, because there's nothing preventing him from going in the front, but to each their own, and if you want to destroy some rocks, might as well just destroy some rocks. Once again, we see the GhostKittens, Zerglings still trying to get this one hatchery down. Didn't really work in the first one, but it's got it down about halfway, and I think the Mutalisks are going to be able to take care of, maybe not all of them, but certainly a number of them. All of them except one is what it seems there. But now we come down here with the Hellions, and the Hellions are going to try to clean up after things, but the problem is that they don't actually have any units that can fire up into the air. I'm expecting to see any kind of, oh no, it's going to be Mutalisks, so it's Mutaling still for GhostKitten. Help me expand. Oh, he's out of mins, and this is when Bomdagor is going to pop in here with the Infernal Pre-Igniter. Blue Flame Hellion is going to roast up a lot of this Bio Zerg base here, and the only thing that's going to happen left is that seanPatrick is going to try to get back really quick with the roaches, but meantime, the Mutaball up here with Corruptors of all things, probably waiting to move into Broodlords, turns into Hellbat mode, and that's going to take care of a number of these. Still just slowly moving their way across the base. This little tactic, asking if you should take gold, probably should. Should probably just take anything. Well, I'm not sure. It's possible. I'm not seeing too much typing from Bomdagor, so perhaps these two guys are on chat with each other, still trying to take this gold here. Bomdagor's going to protect it with a bunch of missile turrets, which is a good bet there. So the missile turrets followed by the with the planetary fortress right there in the surround is a pretty decent line of defense. More units coming out right there for seanPatrick, just with this number of bases. It does have the income, but not quite as much as you'd expect there to be. With the units lost tab, it does seem to be GhostKitten and seanPatrick with the most lost. However, it also does seem that they have some of the largest armies, but no, it does seem like Genetics is going to get away with a much larger army right now. Genetics does have, oh no, it's Genetics that has the most base, but so, and then it's seanPatrick with the EPM. What kind of things are we looking at the moment? This is some flyer attacks. More Ravens on the way right now for Bomdagor, and there is a small host of Zerglings coming across the map here. They are going to get caught out by Genetics, or at least spotted by Genetics Corruption, but not quite in time, because these guys are going to come in here and make maybe not too much of a mess, because they're not really doing too much damage up against these spine crawlers. A bunch more movement. It looks like Bomdagor's going to move his Hellions down. I think those are the Hellions once again. And GhostKitten does manage to survive with a couple of these additional units, but there's very little down here that is going to watch most of... Oh, actually, these Blue Flame Hellions are not doing all that well up against the Spine Crawlers. And in fact, that's probably going to be the death of them. But here comes a large ball. In fact, it's such a large ball, it's actually a giant flock of Mutalisks on their way up here. And that is going to wreck this base because they were getting prepared for the land. And it's going to be YOLO Broodlords right here, which is kind of funny because that's going to take a very long time to fly across to the proper side of the map. In the meantime, GhostKittens, Mutalisks are doing a tremendous job of making everything right in that one spot totally explode. But here come, and so, Genetics is learning that if you try to move with your entire army, half of it moves much faster than the other. A couple of Corruptors there as a defense, possibly seanPatrick's, I think, because they were doing that kind of thing. But now, oh dear, I'm not liking this command center's chances here, but there's a number of them now moving over here, and I think just in a couple of seconds they're going to start spotting this on their map. Any moment now, there they go. And this command center might not survive fast enough to even take off. Does take it off. Swift maneuver just there, but these, oh, what a waste of Zerglings. There's a lost command center. This command center is actually going to go in the wrong direction, but this large Mutaball is going to have to engage here. It's probably going to lose out against this number of Corruptors and Mutalisks all at the same time. I'm not really liking the odds of, I don't know, they're only 2-1 at the moment, but up against the Corruptors are 3-0. seanPatrick coming in behind it with a bunch of roaches, which are not really going to be able to do much there. Now the next thing is that here come the Ravens, and the Ravens are going to just start... Oh, I was expecting to see a Hunter Seeker down here on some of these ground units, I think, but these Mutalisks are actually doing quite a good job up against... There go most of the Broodlords. There's 1 or 2 left, but it does look like that is most of their army is pretty much dead. I don't think any of the Ravens... I'm not... Oh no, there's 5 Ravens. They did survive up there, and now they just need a little bit more energy, but the Hellbats are going to be able to take care of a couple of these units here, but they're spreading out their army, and there's just one Corruptor, 1 Broodlord just kind of off by themselves, not really taking care of anything, not getting all that much done. Here are some more Ravens, and they came down here, and Bomdagor doing what Bomdagor does best, and that is the missile turret game. So just trying to keep out in front with most of these, and it looks like seanPatrick and what's left of Genetics Air Force are going to come back home here and try to take out these missile turrets, but the best part about missile turrets is that they are just energy. So Bomdagor can fly in here and then immediately leave these Ravens. He's not worried about doing anything with them. Could really do something about this gold, but oh dear, I don't think the Ravens are going to survive because there's a number of Raptors here and they have just enough damage with the 3-0 on them. Yeah, and they'd had quite a bit at the moment there, but now what the GhostKitten is doing is he's bringing down the remainder of his bio army and just taking out a couple more of these expanded bases, and taking out this one is really going to be quite handy, but I don't think they see it. These the Hydralisk Roach army of seanPatrick's are moving his way up there. In fact, GhostKitten now does see that. He's trying to move his way up. There's a number more units flooding out onto the field. The Zerglings coming in here trying to just postpone it by a little bit. Bomdagor asking if he's alright, and I think these Speedlings are probably going to be able to take care of the ground army, but there's all of Genetics Corruptors at the moment, and I think there's a few... Oh, seanPatrick did have another slew of Hydralisks coming in behind it, but now what's going on is Bomdagor's going to try to toss in a couple of missiles, and that's going to do a huge amount of damage against that army. Meantime, if you look back down here, these ones, they're still just taking out hatchery, so you don't even need to be there. It's the best kind of set it and forget it. Here come a couple of Corruptors, and so GhostKitten is trying to get back in the game, trying to keep his queens from going in there. That was weird. Oh, we had some awesome glitches from the Corruptors. Excellent. Now the Spore Crawlers are getting in a few shots on the queens, and a couple of missile turrets, just well-placed air defenses once they realized what they were up against. But now I'm just trying to figure out where the rest of his army is, and there's the couple of queens. They're moving their way back down here, and the number of Ravens, we're now up to 10 Ravens. Okay, that's cool. GhostKitten says, thanks, you saved me. Well, a bit of an assist there, especially the Hunter-Seeker missiles certainly took care of the ground army, and there was not much that they could do about that. But if you look at the army supplies, it's definitely now certainly favoring our heroes of GhostKitten and Bomdagor now with the highest amount of supply in the game. Still only on 3 base, just that cool, calculated, slow, steady 3 base, going for all them Ravens, trying to get yet another base. Any attempts at an expansion were met with kind of a large flying army. What kind of things are we seeing back here in the Zerg Meanies base with the blue Meanies? Everything seems to be pretty mined out. I don't know what's going on here for economy. New, they're just not able to expand. Looking for a macro hatch when everything's all mined out. That seems like kind of a strange idea. What they're going to do over here is, whoa, okay, that's just some overlords. That's not actually an army. Where is the army? What is the unit structure? There's a couple of Corruptors, a couple of Queens, and like 4 or 5 Hydralisks. What is... But they've got some... They certainly do have some cash money, do they not? What are they doing? What are they talking about? Trying to get more hatcheries and just a few more Hydralisks all at the same time. But what's happening here is the Ravens moving at the same time as the Mutalisks. So the Mutalisks can act as a decent defense to let the Ravens come in here and just drop everything down that needs to happen. I think right now, the other two have just completely given up on everything. And just trying to get a number of buildings, just trying to get some static defense, not know quite what to do. They're really low on harvesters, especially seanPatrick. Really low on harvesters. That was huge. I want to know who that was. That was just crazy big. And there go a few more. Oh no! The Overlord kills are enormous. Let's check the supply. That was all of Genetics, and Genetics still has 200 capability. How many damn Overlords did he make? That's just phenomenal. So, there you go, set it and forget it, drop a few in. Shouldn't have left them together. Yeah, well, that's a fair argument. So now, it looks like just one last stand of Zerg on Zerg. Oh no, the Mutalisks get chased away, so the Lings aren't able to do much there, and it's a pretty decent Hydralisk army right now for seanPatrick. He does have a number of them, and a couple of Corruptors just in the air. Seems kind of, yeah, well, Bomdagor's just trying to make a conversation right now, but just moving back, taking a little bit of defense, slow roll there, just get back out, and it looks like, I think there's another goal down here taken for seanPatrick, but still, just no harvesters. I mean, he's not making any drones, but I suppose he only has 50. So he's just on a very slow working back. And I think what he's trying to do, what really should be happening here, is Genetics should be pumping out the units working on it, not those. And just trying to keep an army in this while seanPatrick can drone up, because seanPatrick can get right back in this game on a couple of gold bases. Genetics and seanPatrick. Oh, it looks like these guys. No, they're not gonna get quite caught out of place. But no, these planetary fortresses might not finish all at the right time. But here comes the entirety of most of. Yeah, I think it's the entirety of GhostKittens' armies that come in here and lay waste to a lot of these hydras. They may survive through this, but it should time just perfectly that we'll get a planetary fortress or two zoning in at the exact same time. In fact, at the same time, there is a Hunter-Seeker missile, or 6. No damage to the supply depot. That was just magical. So here comes some more Mutilis. seanPatrick is not very impressed at the Ravens. It's not really like that. Well, I would suggest... anyway, he lolled after it, so he's probably just kind of enjoying the game, having a good time. But really, guy, get a little bit of income. How about that? How about some income? Yeah, let's get some income. I was thinking about getting some income. What are your thoughts on that? Just the amount of defense, though, GhostKitten and Bomdagor are able to carry on defending against these things. The number of corruptors that are now chasing these Ravens, I think these Ravens might not last too much longer. They're going to try to kite the corruptors into their own missile turrets. I think Bomdagor needs to get a little bit of focus fire, and I think you can do that with the missile turrets, but no, now he just needs to work on a number more of Ravens just to get a few more out, and meanwhile GhostKitten is just trying to clean up these remaining outlying bases, and he is going to come down here and spot the gold. This is going to be fast, furious, and hilarious. Here come all the speedlings for GhostKitten. They're coming in from two different sides. Kaboom. I don't think there's going to be any drones left here. Nope. Hatchery's next. Can't even all fit around it. Falls pretty quick. I just enjoyed watching that. They just ate that base. Those rats just ate it. Ate it! So here comes some more speedlings over in the other direction. Wait. Speedlings, but they don't have wings. Man, we're just missing out on the upgrades, I think. Grades? Upgrades. Oh, man, yeah, so... GhostKitten and Bomdagor definitely going for the upgrades and go for Hellion again, so, yeah. Always good going up with ground army, especially when the enemy start sending all the flyers to destroy your... Oh dear, all the drone kills from Genetics. And Genetics, this base is definitely going to die pretty quick as well. Hopefully there's no friendly fire. They're taking out a... Oh, that Spore Crawler. Wasn't much left of that. Meanwhile, there's still some auto turrets over here just slowly getting pecked away at. But I think there's not much left here. There's going to be a bit of a speedling army moving out across, whereas Bomdagor's and GhostKitten's forces are running down in the other direction. And, oh, there come a few really nice hits with the Widow Mines. Pretty well placed. Genetics is totally bored and done with this. And here comes seanPatrick's, but it's going to be seanPatrick's speedlings, and that's about it. Genetics has totally given up. Is only had the one base left. Couldn't take out an expansion in any way, shape, or form. I don't think this base is going to fall, but seanPatrick did do a pretty nice job of taking out a number of drones, probably. But meantime, let's just watch all the Hellbats wander over here and kill a whole bunch of Hydralis, being supported with a bunch of Ravens coming down at all at the exact same time. And there's a Hunter-Seeker missile or two, and blam! Oh, frozen on the explosion. It was like a good mech game. Anyway, that was a 2v2 from Bomdagor. Leave me a comment down below. Send me an email, ziggityzig@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter at ziggityzig. If you've got an interesting, funny, hilarious, weird, crazy game, send it over to me, and I will be happy to have a look at it and cast it if I can. As best I can would be the fastest way of putting that. And... yeah. Stay tuned.